Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, March 29th. Welcome. I hope everybody has had a great week. It's been mostly more of the same here. Work. That's pretty much all we get to do this time of year. Okay, to be fair, it's really pretty much all we do all the time. We're kind of boring people, and that's okay. I'm trying to figure out which way this goes. Okay, I did stitch. Out of Leisure Arts 1989 cross stitch calendar, A Stitch in Time. I was going to start with January. I had planned to go through all of them except for June, which is a bride and groom. I guess I could still do it. But anyway, I was going to start with January. But when I flipped back to the patterns, lo and behold, it wasn't there. So instead, I moved on and started on February. And I think this is how it goes. Pretty impressive. This is the borders. All the sashing on the quilt is in ecru. I was just going to stitch all of that and see if you could tell when I held it up, if you could see all the ecru border on here. But I didn't. I had 2 new starts last week because I need more new starts. I started also Rustic Holiday, and I did a center start on it. And the center is there near the snowman. So this is this one and that star right there. So last Monday, I think it was Monday morning, Wyatt texted me, scared me to death, because he texted me at about 6 or 6:30 in the morning and was like, "Are you awake?" And so I texted back and I said, "Yeah, what's up?" And he texted back and said, "Can I call you?" Which, my mama heart starts instantly panicking. I was already concerned because he was even texting me early in the morning. So, of course, I said yes, and he called me. And because he needed to know the steps he needed to go through, because at about 1:30 in the morning, he'd gotten a phone call from the police because his car had been involved in a hit and run. Somebody in the apartments that they lived in heard the crash and looked, and it was a truck, a maroon truck, hit his car, slammed right into the back of it. And based on the damage done, he was in a parking space. They weren't trying to park behind him. It's like parallel parking. They weren't trying to park behind him. They just flat on ran into him. But thankfully, they called the police. Of course, a maroon truck doesn't help the police, but hopefully it helps for his insurance. So he was not thrilled about that start to his day. I think that's just crazy. But at 1:30 in the morning, I figure it's probably somebody drunk. Anyway, nuts. It was nuts. I also worked on handy hand towels. I had this brilliant idea years ago that I was just going to whip these all out and make a different little towel for every month. I got the January one done, and I did make it into a towel. And then I've started the February one. There's a lot more stitching in these than one would expect. This one anyway. But so here I am on February. I was so excited to get some work done on this. I slept through my alarm. I slept through Dax's alarm. Dax slept through his alarm. I woke up and I was like, this doesn't feel right. Something's not right. And um, something wasn't right because it was 7:30 and I usually get up at 5. So yeah, that was crazy. Even this morning, I slept through my alarm. Dax's alarm woke me up. But anyway, I got this shade of blue. I think there's 2 or 3 shades of blue in the letters. I got that much done in that shade of blue. And I was really, really bummed because I got that much done in like 15 or 20 minutes. And I was like, if I'd gotten up on time, how much could I have gotten done? It could have been so nice. But, oh well, it wasn't. I also worked on Hallie's birth sampler announcement. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm doing this one. I'm not putting new baby up there on the lamp, and I'm not putting the stats here on the drawers. Part of the reason why is that I think that looks like, instead of 3.5 of 01, I think it looks like 3.50 of 01 with the knob right there in the way. But so I'll put it all, I'll find a font to use and put it up there. Anyway, at the rate I'm going, I've got time. So here we are. This time around, I worked mostly over here. I brought this down here and worked on the bow and stuff in the drawer and started putting in, this is the little rabbit's ear where it comes in right there. So I got a little bit of that done. We're getting there, slow but sure. She'll be 15 by the time I get it done, but hey, who's surprised by that? We went a while ago to earlier today. It's probably 8:30. Earlier this afternoon, we went up to the cigar lounge because it's just a laid back, easy place to hang out. When we were walking in, the owner started, I've told y'all before, he calls me Fireball because I take Fireball up there because he likes, I take the little shot size bottles, usually in a 10-pack, because he likes it. And we do shots, whoever wants it. When I walked in, he started chanting Fireball, and the other people sitting at the bar started chanting too. And so I whipped it out. I was like, yes, I'm here. I am the champion. But we experienced a first because one of the guys there had a colonoscopy earlier in the week, and some of the ladies down at the end of the bar were watching the video from his colonoscopy and telling him how good his colon looked. One of them was he's the guy who's working the bar and selling the cigars and pipe tobacco and all of that on Sundays. And one of them was his daughter, and he's like, she didn't get that from me. That's her mom. Her mom's a nurse. She taught her to be like that. It's not my fault. The guy whose colonoscopy video they were watching told the owner, I think we need a list up here behind the bar of what people are not allowed to talk about. And number 1 is my colonoscopy. That's why we go up there, because they're fun. I worked a little bit on my January sweet stitching. This one was the Pine Mountain Needleworks. I think that's a website. I think that's it. Where you get this right here. Right here. At the beginning of, it's a monthly stitch kit. You get a monthly kit. It comes with the pattern and the fabric, and like I said, and it comes with other little things that go with it. Like all the stuff in here. This came with all of the backing material and the stuff to decorate it like that. This is from last year's. This is the last one. One of these days I'll get it finished too. I did really good at keeping up for a while, and then I just fell behind. Anyway, this time I put his hair on. He looks like he's got a really, really bad haircut at the moment, but he'll get a cap, earmuffs, all of that. So I think since last time I put in his cheeks and nose, and pink, they're kind of hard to see, put in his hair, and I have put in some more white in the snowman. I have a lot of white left to go. I'm going to finish everything else and be stuck with white. I do keep trying to put in a little white when I work on it, but it's one that I just do the whole 25 minutes a day. But, you know, when I oversleep and don't hear my alarm, it doesn't get worked on. Some days I hear my alarm, but I still oversleep because I'm so tired. I know it'll be over soon. We have 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks left of, right now we work 6 days a week for about, it depends on what day of the week it is, 12 to 15 hours a day. And I need rest. I'm tired. Dax wanted to go in today, and I said, absolutely not. No, we need one day to decompress and chill. We have to. Anyway, I worked on Friends and Family from Fox and Rabbit. It was their, what does that say, 2020 stitch along piece. And I told y'all last week it wasn't going to be back this week, that I was done, but I lied because it was one of my spins for this week. And I got April finished. Psych. No, I didn't. So here we are now, the whole thing. This is April's part. And this time I got, you know, probably like from here up. I don't really know. I just bounce around. But April is this one right here. I've got a long way to go. Still got a long way to go. But so far I'm liking it. I keep kidding myself that I'm going to get that finished this year. Oh, wait. I think I had 3 starts this week. This is Mini Village. This one's March. I don't know if you can see that good or not. This was another day that I slept in a little late. So I have all of this done. Obviously a center start. I did the little clouds, and I think I went over to, see, there's some little clouds, and then I think I jumped over to this building right there. Yeah. I mean, what difference does it make? They're the same on each side. Oh, is that the last one? It is. That's it. So that's what I stitched on this week. I'm crocheting a little bunny for Hallie. The intention was to, you know, Easter kind of thing. It's adorable, from Make and Do Crew. Look how cute that is. Mine, I feel like it's just going to be huge. Because look how big the head is. I was thinking that I was crocheting the head this way, but it's this way. I just started coming back in to bring it back in a little bit, kind of like at the top, to round it out. I've only done 1 row bringing it back in, but y'all, by the time, at this rate, by the time I get this thing finished, sorry, I put my hook in here like this because here is my stitch, but this tells me what direction I'm still going. This can be bigger than her. I mean, come on. It called for, I'm not using the yarn it called for, but it called for a bulky yarn. And I had this bulky pink yarn. Anyway, several skeins. And so I decided, okay, I'll just use that. And I'm using the hook size that the yarn said. I should have used a smaller one. This is just going to be so big. But there we are. I'm almost done with the head. We'll see. I hope the body doesn't look this. I have concerns at this point, but oh well. She's getting a giant bunny. It might be bigger than her, and one day she'll grow into it, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't think I have anything else. I worked some more on this piece, and it's just too small. It's not going to work in that frame. You can't tell because this is just sitting in front of the frame because it's a whole thing. I've stitched this for the Ronald McDonald House to go in the family room at the Ronald McDonald House in Austin. And I stitched it quite some time ago, like probably 2 years ago, maybe even 3. I don't know. And I had asked somebody to make me a frame for it, a custom frame, because they did woodworking. But Alzheimer's became an issue, and so they couldn't do it. And he has since passed away. So I didn't know because I cut my fabric when I should not have, because I made it an awkward size. So I'm trying to think of a nice word. I've been messing around trying to decide how to frame it. And I bought this shadow box and I printed, I bought some, see, I told you it was just, I've laced this twice because I laced it and it was too big to fit in there. It'll fit in the frame now. You can see it's a Ronald McDonald House pattern. And I put it in a shadow box, and I bought this vintage Ronald McDonald figurine, and I bought off an Etsy scrap paper digital scrap paper. I want to say PDF, and that's not right. I bought several, like 5 different McDonald's designs, but I liked this one the best. But when I put this piece in here, his hands cover up half of the Ronald for the Ronald McDonald House, and that's not okay. So I've got to buy a bigger size frame. I mean, I can reprint. I have the JPEG. I don't know. I have the file for printing that out again, so that's no big deal. But I'm so frustrated because I keep trying to put this thing together and it keeps not working. And I just want to get it done so that I can give it to him. But we'll see. We'll see. So I think I'm going to, I have another shadow box frame around here, but it's way too tall this way. So anyway, I think I'm going to order one and we'll go from there. It's frustrating, like I said. Anyway, we'll just get back to work. We've had on Wednesday a financial advisor that we kind of work with a little bit. He's a financial advisor for one of our clients. He's one of the want you to have more money kind. At this point, he's out of our league. He doesn't have he doesn't advise us, but he had lunch delivered on Wednesday, and it was fajitas, chicken and beef fajitas. We've eaten from what was delivered twice, and we still have chicken and beef fajitas left over. My gosh, it is so much food that he had delivered. But it is much appreciated. He probably has no idea. Well, I know he has no idea that he fed us lunch and dinner both. So it's nice. I am so grateful for the people in our lives because they're good. They're good. We have good people in our lives, and including you guys, and I appreciate you all. Okay, I'm going to stop rambling and go see what else it is that I've left undone. I think I got all my chores done, but we'll go see. Anyway, thank y'all. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing to all of you that have. And if you haven't, I can't imagine why not. Anyway, thank you for your comments. And I appreciate you all more than you will ever understand. And thanks, y'all. I'll see you here next time. Bye.